Football season is officially over, and congrats to the champions, the Chiefs, on winning the Super Bowl. But now that football is over, it is time to turn our eyes to the draft. So today we are doing a first round mock draft with trades, and if it goes well, we'll probably do a couple more of these before the draft happens on April 25th in Detroit. So leave a comment down below on what player you want your team to draft this year, and sit back and watch as we tell you what we think is going to happen. Let's get it. Starting our mock draft off with the number 1 pick. The Bears currently have the pick, and we're going to add a twist. Same guy we think is going to go 1 is Caleb Williams. He's the best prospect. Everyone's talking about him. He's a star boy from USC, and everyone believes he is the next generational talent at quarterback. Now, we think the Bears like Justin Fields enough that he wants to keep going. He's done good. He had a good end of the season, and he's putting up decent numbers, and I think they're going to go all in on Justin Fields and believe in his talent, believe in his potential instead of just scrapping it. So we believe they're going to trade out of the first pick. Now, where and who they're going to trade with, that's where it gets tricky. We think they're going to trade with the Patriots. A lot of people I've been seeing and talking about the Commanders, but I just don't see them trading down one spot to give a conference rival an opportunity to take the QB of their dreams. So we think they're going to go to the Patriots. You still have the ability to take the number 1 position player and the guy you want, and you should be able to get a good haul of a next year first round pick, the 3rd pick from the Patriots, and probably a couple other picks as well, at least to get that deal across the line. So we believe that the New England Patriots are going to take Caleb Williams and really try to rebrand themselves and get that rebuild going. You don't have Bill Belichick, you don't have Tom Brady anymore. How do we get the team and fans invest again? Let's get our hopefully next franchise QB in Caleb Williams.
All right, with the number 2 pick, Washington's going to be taking Drake May off the board. The number 2 pick feels easy here as Washington gave Sam Howell an entire year to figure it out, as well as a good amount of their 2023 coaching staff. Now that they've cleaned house, they need to get serious, and May enables them to do that, as he has all the intangibles necessary to develop into a franchise starting quarterback and lead Washington in their rebuild here.
Now that the Bears have traded down to 3 and have committed to Justin Fields for the future, let's get him some help and go out and get one of the best wide receiver prospects of all time. So with the 3rd pick, the Bears are going to select Marvin Harrison Jr. The son of a Hall of Famer is going to help the Bears offense instantly and has the potential to be a Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase type of difference maker in the future.
And with the number 4 pick, Jaden Daniels is going to get taken off the board in a trade-up action from Las Vegas. And a crazy move to start the Telesco tenure. We have predicted them to try and set up their new head coach with a true franchise quarterback investment in Jaden Daniels, enabling them to get a big-name Heisman winner to Vegas and start the retune right. Trading with the Cardinals allows the Cardinals to break their high pick into more assets, as they need a lot right now. So this fits their mold of what both teams want to do this year.
With the 5th pick, the Chargers go get themselves a top-tier tight end in Brock Bowers. Hopefully Bowers can be a pair of safe hands for Justin Herbert. And I also think Jim Harbaugh wants a change of culture for the Chargers. So why not get a kid that only knows how to win at his time in Georgia? So I think Bowers is going to be a pair of safe hands and hopefully get the Chargers to winning, because that's all Jim knows how to do. And I think Mike's going to appreciate that pick.
And with the number 6 pick, the New York Giants select Joe Alt. The Giants will definitely be wanting to protect their $50 million man, Danny Dimes. Kind of feels kind of weird thinking about them like that, doesn't it, New York? But in all seriousness, you need to protect your assets, and this feels like a no-brainer here at number 6.
With the 7th pick, the Titans are going to go get Rome Aduzier. If you ask me, this kid is the best college wide receiver last year. The 6'3" pass catcher had 1,600 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns last season for the Washington Huskies. And I think he gives Will Levis an explosive playmaker that the Titans desperately need now that King Henry seems to be over the hill. So Titans getting some help, and I think an absolute monster and a steal at the 7th pick.
At number 8, the Atlanta Falcons are going to be selecting Bo Nix. With the old regime gone here, I think that Desmond Ridder gets the opportunity to go play backup quarterback with another franchise while the new front office tries to reverse some of the evils of the past by going for a stable frontman and a once upon a time thought first overall pick in Bo Nix. This will pair well with their first round selection of last year in Bijan Robinson, but here's to hoping they actually utilize both of their first round picks, unlike last year where they decided to have to ride the bench for some weird reason.
This pick might get some hate, but if the Bears are really all in on Justin Fields, why not give him all the help he can get and go draft Malik Neighbors with the 9th pick, the wide receiver out of LSU. This gives the Bears DJ Moore and 2 of the best 3 wide receiver prospects in this year's draft. This instantly makes them an interesting offense next season. Also, if Justin Fields can't succeed with this wide receiver room, then it just wasn't meant to be.
With the number 10 pick, the New York Jets are going to take Alu Fashanu. They have put themselves in a situation here where they have to do a complete 180 to their offensive line to even have a chance at protecting the man that they wagered their future on in Aaron Rodgers, as he turns 40 and has no business running from pressure with a doctored Achilles. This tells their fan base that they are seriously aware of this problem, but one move is not going to be enough, and next season is approaching quickly. If I'm the Jets GM, I'm begging the coaching staff to turn this mountain of a man into a star in a short time, while I leverage a few other deals to get some other guys here as well.
All right, with the 11th pick, the Vikings are going to get Jerzon Newton. The Vikings are in a weird spot this offseason, and right now we think that they will stay with Kirk Cousins at QB and try and improve the defense for next year. They had a good year, just injuries at the QB position kept them from being super successful. So we have them using the 11th pick and grabbing the best interior defense alignment prospect in the draft.
And with the 12th pick of the draft, we have Denver selecting Dallas Turner in a move that will help them keep one of the best ranked linebacker cores in the league. We have them taking Dallas Turner. He's an absolute unit that has to be considered in every single game plan at Alabama, and he will slot right into the Vance Joseph defensive system, taking over games and really allowing that defense to play through them as usual.
Now, the Raiders traded up in our mock draft, so this pick will be by the Cardinals, and we think the Cardinals, with the 13th pick, are going to go defensively here, and they're going to go get one of the best corners in Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. Will be a solid choice at fixing the Cardinals' average at best secondary, and hopefully get them on the right track in a very, very loaded NFC West.
At number 14, we have Jared Verse coming off the board with going. At the number 14 pick, we have Jared Verse going to New Orleans. Florida State's very own Jared Verse coming off the board here at about a mid portion of the round. While coaching was a huge problem in the Saints 2023 season, this helps stabilize a very wishy-washy defense either way, and gets one of the more talented pieces of this draft secured and off the board, albeit at a lower position than he probably thought.
With the 15th pick, we think the Colts will surprise the world by giving the NFL its first white starting cornerback in decades by taking Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. This guy is just special. I mean, he did it all at Iowa, and I think he can be a difference maker for the Colts team that just missed out on the playoffs and just need a few tweaks to take it to the next level.
With the 16th pick of the draft, the Seattle Seahawks will be getting a steal in Laiatu Latu. This man will be a plug-and-play piece wherever he goes, but Seattle just seems like the perfect spot for him. We have the draft working out where he falls to this point, but he has the ability to be the best player in this draft on the defensive side of the ball, in my opinion, if he can stay healthy. His dynamic playmaking ability reminds me of Bobby Wagner. I can't wait to see it, and I cannot wait to see if this transfers to the NFL stage. The offense as it stands is hard to change and won't be blowing anybody's doors off consistently, so defense is a good short-term shore-up if you're not changing anything up over there too crazy.
A quick break from the action just to remind you to please subscribe to the channel as we keep pushing for 1,000. The quest to 1,000 keeps going. Each person helps, and the sooner we get to 1,000, the sooner I could get health insurance. So please help out. Please subscribe. We need all the support we can get. All right, number 17 is going to be a good one. The Jags fell apart this season and could use some secondary help. And I think they're going to use the 17th pick to get Nate Wiggins. Would be a great asset. The Clemson corner could help the Jaguars on the quest of getting back on top of the AFC South and help that defense that kind of fell apart and collapsed in the back half of the season.
At number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be taking Talisa Fuaga. Protecting Joe Burrow needs to be the utmost priority times a million for this franchise, as we all watched this man get brutalized on national television throughout 2023 trying to carry this franchise to the playoffs. This pick grabs the best available talent to do that. Fuaga is a bit of a raw talent, but has the intangible ability to hang around in the league for a while and can ideally take away the responsibility of having to draft another person at this position for quite a while in the Burrow tenure, and that is exactly what you want.
The 19th pick was a tough one to decide. We thought of a lot of different positions the Rams could take, but we decided on getting them some help in the secondary. And we think they're going to select Toledo cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, which we believe is a solid pick. And I think he's going to be that small school guy that you go, man, 5 to 6 years from now, you go, what school did he go to again? And you can't remember that it's Toledo, but the dude's a monster. Think of like Khalil Mack at Buffalo. I think this is the type of guy you're getting, a guy who could be a star for many years that you go, what? What school did he play for again? So we think he's a good pick. And I think the Rams are going to take him with the 19th pick.
And with the 20th pick of the draft, Jackson Powers Johnson is going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have him falling to Pittsburgh here as they've made the mistake of taking quarterback in this position before, and it has gotten them actually right here where they're at. If you pick one here, you might as well stick with Pickett, as he's been injured or under the Matt Canada regime his entire career. They are going to run it back here with a better offensive line and possibly shoot for a reach quarterback in the second round to take over and see what happens in 2024.
Alabama always has one super offensive line prospect, and this year is no different. And we think the Dolphins, with the 21st pick, will select J.C. Latham and use him to beef up the offensive line and hopefully help the offense be more consistent in colder weather. Latham is deemed as the lesser prospect to our two that we've already selected, but this guy is still a beast and still a monster, and I think might have the highest ceiling out of all the tackles selected in the first round.
And at number 22, Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be coming off the board, going to the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of Alabama guys coming off right at around the same time. Alabama's star cornerback will go to one of the better defensive situations in the league in the Eagles, while they look to him to end the volatility in the secondary that happened to implode toward the end of the 2023 season. Nick Sirianni's seat is getting a bit warm, and writing the defense is something that's always calmed his anxiety in the past, so let's see if it works out for them here.
All right, my Houston Texans with the 23rd pick. I think they're going to get some edge rushing support with Braylon Trice. Trice helped lead the Huskies to a national championship game appearance and would be a fun dude to pair up with Rookie of the Year Will Anderson to help the Texans get more pressure on QBs. The Texans defense was solid last year, but one thing they did lack was getting pressure on the quarterback, and I think this could really help them.
And at number 24, we're going to have the Dallas Cowboys selecting Byron Murphy. Dallas looked absolutely lost on the defensive side of things in games that actually mattered in 23 and into the 2023 playoffs. So we believe Byron Murphy is a safe bet if he makes it this far to them. He helps put a plug in that hole of a run defense and opens up doors to take a few other defensive pieces in possibly rounds 3 or 4 and turn this defense around.
Packers want to run the ball, and with Jordan Love having a breakout season last year, let's help get him some more protection and get him the big man from Georgia. So with the 25th pick, we have the Packers selecting Amarius Mims, one of the best offensive lineman prospects in the draft. And I think it's going to help the Packers do what they want to do, which is run the ball and let Jordan Love throw it down the field with all the protection in the world.
And at 26, who knew the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be choosing this late in the draft at the beginning of last year? But we believe they're going to be taking Chop Robinson at 26. It's a talent we think works incredibly well with the way Tampa likes to operate. And with them tooling up around Mayfield and the previous year's staff, we think it makes total sense for him to end up here. His paper stats are insane, but Chop passes the eye test, and the Bucs scouts live on the eye test to great results in their past about 5 to 10 years here. And this guy is no different.
The Cardinals' second first-round pick in this draft, and we think they're going to use it on a wide receiver. So with the 27th pick, Kyler Murray is going to get some help, and they're going to get the stud out of Texas, Xavier Worthy. I know a lot of people have him lower on their draft boards, have him as a second, third-round pick. I'm much higher on him, and I think he will help improve the wide receiver room in Arizona.
At number 28, we have Troy Franklin going to the Buffalo Bills. Due to teams ahead of them being mostly figured out at this position, this allows for the Bills to do something big here and give Josh Allen another wide receiver that can go for long 50-50 balls in order to stretch out the field a little bit more. And with Jared Cook bringing in a run game that fans haven't seen for a literal decade, the Bills are doubling down on their high-powered offense and stretching the field with play-action passes and establishing the run game into 2024. I am excited to see it.
With the 29th pick, we have the Detroit Lions going with the Iowa State corner, which we believe is going to be a good pickup. The Lions have done a great job in recent years in drafting, and I believe tthe Tampa is an overlooked corner compared to a lot of the higher rated corners in this draft class. And I think he can help the Lions take the next step and try to win a Super Bowl. Also, shame on the Bucs for not taking the chance and drafting this guy. If they don't pick him up, would be amazing and electric stuff to see TJ Tampa in Tampa Bay.
Absolutely agree here, but what would also be a crime is the number 30th pick not going to Brian Thomas Jr. and having him going to the Baltimore Ravens. This team and this wide receiver are a match made in heaven, especially with Lamar Jackson. Thomas coming off the board at 30 here in the offensive player exodus just makes sense. The fact of the matter is, Ravens wide receivers did not get any kind of separation in the game versus the Chiefs, minus a few plays from Zay Flowers. And Brian Thomas has the potential for being a very good 1-2 punch and opening up windows for some lesser guys out here as the Ravens try to pivot away from being a run-only and run-first team. And next, the San Francisco 49ers select Jordan Morgan. The Niners will end up shoring up that line in order to keep their championship-winning but undersized quarterback Brock Purdy upright. He's also coming into the league an experienced monster in the run game, so he will fit Kyle Shanahan's system well and really hit the ground running with this team.
Chiefs have everything they need with Patrick Mahomes at QB, but still, I think giving him another weapon is needed, especially with Travis Kelce getting to the end of his career. So Keon Coleman could be that big threat weapon that Patrick needs to keep the dynasty going. So we have the Chiefs selecting Keon Coleman out of Florida State.
Thanks for watching the Pick 6 Mock Draft. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.